Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Self-Love Empowerment Workshop. I am so excited to have you here, wherever you are in the world, whenever you're watching this. I'm so excited. So, my name is Sarah Davis, and this is the Mindset Model Self-Empowerment Workshop. So let's get started. Are you even ready to truly love who you are? So, what I'm going to do is just go through the agenda of this workshop. And before I do that, what you need to know is, have you got your pen and paper ready? Make sure you've got your journal because there is going to be some homework. Please make sure that you are in a relaxing environment as well. This is recorded, so you can play this at any time you wish. So grab your crystals, light some candles, and really, really relax and take some time for you. This is an inclusive workshop as well. So if some of the language that I use doesn't resonate with you, just use language which does. And this is just an introduction into the self love workshop as well. I just wanted to create something for you as we are coming into Valentine's season, but we should be loving ourselves 24/7 all the way through the year. So let's have a look at the agenda. I'm going to start off with a bit of an introduction into who I am and why I actually created this course. What is self love? What am I even banging on about? What is self image and what is confidence? And why self love is so important. If you are on a journey to transform your life, you love manifestation, you love mindset, or maybe you just have a feeling inside that, you want to be your best self, but you don't know how to do it. This is a brilliant place to start with you. We're also going to have a little bit of science behind love. Science, get your science lesson out. We will be having self love discovery, and also I will be sharing my most favorite tools for self image rewiring. So, my intention is for you after this small program is to feel absolutely amazing, connect with yourself again. And even if it's just 1%, 2% more, it's something that you can work on. This is a magnificent journey. So, a little introduction. Hello, my loves. My name is Sarah Davis, and I am the owner of the Mindset Model brand, podcast, and self empowerment programs. So, I have been mindset obsessed for the past 10 years. Now, when I was a youngster back in the day, when I was at school, I had a really bad self image. And I share this on my podcast. Some quite interesting stories of where this not very good self image came from. All sorts of stories about the German supply teacher, Herr Schneider. We've got the Clark sandals scenario and all sorts of things like that. But anyway, so I really didn't have a great self image. I didn't really love myself. And I really wanted to be a TV presenter. I wanted to be a model and all those things. But obviously, if you don't love yourself, those things are quite tricky to kind of elevate. Then I had a very bad car accident in 2014. And this is when I was the lowest of my low. And I did not love myself, not even 1%. I actually hated who I was. My personality completely changed overnight. I had really bad injuries to my head and my back. I lost my job. I was just the husk of a human. It was not a good time. And I discovered the power of mindset and self love. And I've been on a magical journey ever since. I am now modeling again. Oh, yes, she's back in front of the camera. I am a presenter and I'm also doing a bit of acting as well. So, really living my best life. As you can see from the pictures here, I am a wildlife lover, a guinea pig mum, and I absolutely love to travel. And because I've really embodied the teachings of mindset and self-love and self-image, it's actually allowed me to completely transform my life so I can travel. And, I want this for everybody on the call. I have a sexy husband and a sexy house, and I am dedicated and devoted to helping you love who you are on an authentic level and help you to step into your best life. So if you like the sound of this, keep watching. It's going to get better and better from here. So, what is the meaning of this? It all starts with you. I love this visual here. So, this is the beginning of loving yourself. Welcome home, my loves. So, just a couple of definitions here because there's all sorts of language which is bandied about, and I just want to make sure you understand what this means. So, self love. This is a positive feeling of appreciation for yourself and a way of treating yourself with kindness and respect. And it really is a key part of having a happy and fulfilling life. I don't know if that's how you spell fulfilling, but who even cares? We're just going with it. Self image. This is how you perceive yourself and the image you project into your reality. This is so important. A lot of people don't realize and are actually very unaware that we have got subconscious programming and beliefs within us about ourselves which are negative, and these negative beliefs actually come out in our reality, so we start attracting things that we don't want to us, and I will explain this in a bit more detail. And then finally, self-confidence. This is the belief that you have in yourself, in your abilities, qualities, and judgment. If you don't have the confidence in yourself, if you do not have the self image or the self love, you cannot get to where you want to be in life. It's a fact, and I will be explaining more. So, have you noticed a lack of self love in your life or of those around you? Now, if you are on a self love empowerment workshop, I would imagine so. But don't worry, my loves. It's just, first of all, to start having an awareness. Now you're thinking about it, I really want you to think back to times where you have said things to yourself which are quite negative, or you've heard other people as well. Start paying attention to these conversations. So, how does a bad self image or a lack of self love actually show up in your life? What does this actually look like? And these are just it's not an exhaustive list. These are just the most common areas that I've seen on my journey studying this material. So, first of all, being very self critical. You think that everything that you do is not good enough. You're constantly saying, oh, I wish I would do that better. That's not good enough. And you are constantly saying that over and over again. Using negative language to describe yourself, I see this on a daily basis, and most of us don't realize we're doing it. We're not aware of that inner dialogue. You know, when you look in the mirror and you catch yourself being like, oh, I look a bit frumpy today. Oh, God, look at these bags under my eyes. Oh, God, all of this language, this talk that we think doesn't really mean anything, it actually does, and it's negatively impacting our lives. Comparing yourself to others, trying to be like someone else. I think we're all guilty of doing this. When we're scrolling through Instagram, we look at someone, we think, oh, they look really nice in that outfit. I wish I should dress more like that. Or they look really good in their bikini. And then we just start comparing ourselves, and we go on this massive roller coaster of emotion. And then before we know it, we literally hate ourselves. Sound familiar? Oh, yes, we've all been there. Trying to be like someone else as well. You don't need to be like anyone else. And by the end of this workshop, you will be able to see why being you is so magical. Not honoring rest. How many of us just work ourselves into the ground and we think that resting is bad? We live in a society where if you want rest, you want to meditate or take things easy, that's a bad thing. Who even made up that rule? It is ridiculous. So we are going to change that today. Hustle and being overproductive. This is a key indication that you do not love yourself and you do not think you're worthy. Because if you're being overproductive, there's a belief in your subconscious mind that is saying you need to work harder, you need to be better because you're not good enough as you are. Okay, be aware of these patterns. And this is a massive one. Saying no to opportunities that you know deep down you would love to do. I have personally done this. When I was starting out with my modeling career, I actually won a national competition, which is awesome. A national competition. I won a modeling contract and I went to Antigua. I was modeling for a well-known brand. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is my dream. This is really what I want to do. I really wanted to be a TV presenter, and this is going to help me elevate my profile. But something deep inside, I had a programming and a belief that I actually wasn't good enough. I didn't look right, and I wasn't as good as everyone else. I actually gave up on modeling at that time, and I gave up on so many opportunities because I didn't love myself. And you're probably thinking now to, points where maybe this has happened to you. So, why do we actually not love ourselves? Where does this even come from? Because if you look at children, for example, if you've got children at home, babies or, 1 to 2 year olds, any child below 7, you will notice that they just literally love life and they just go around. They're not being like, do you know what? I don't think I'm good enough to have my bottle today, or oh, I didn't work hard enough, so I don't think I'm going to have that extra snack today. Oh, the kids, they just get on with it. So, where did it actually come from? It's a program. That's all it is. A program, a belief within us that we can absolutely change. So, 70% of people have experienced imposter syndrome at least once in their life. So, this is when you are doing something and you feel like you don't belong. You're not worthy enough to be there. The media and society has a massive part to play in this, why we do not love ourselves. The things that I see online are shocking. I grew up being a teenager in the early 2000s, and this is when size zero was a thing. This is where you had to look a certain way to be acceptable. You had to have a certain personality and all of these things. And it made me think I'm not actually good enough because I don't look that way. I don't act that way. People are getting publicly shamed for weight gain, for cellulite, for normal things, and they're being made to feel like a bad, unworthy person. So, measuring your worth against how you look and your abilities. Generational beliefs pass down from generation to generation. So if you hear language from your grandparents, they will pass beliefs down and it will just go on and on and on. We just accept these beliefs. We don't challenge them. So it's your responsibility, my loves, watching this, is to challenge those beliefs, okay? And finally, control. So, humans that have a bad self image and a lack of confidence are easier to manipulate and control. Have a think about that, okay? So, can you imagine a world where everyone loved who they were? I love who I am. I don't want to compare myself to anyone, and I'm worthy as I am. Can you imagine how glorious and peaceful it would be? But you wouldn't be able to control the humans. So, I'm just going to leave that there. The great news is we can learn to love ourselves again starting today. So, a little bit of science. I'm not going to bombard you too much with this, but just so that you can kind of understand why this is important. Now, the universe is made up of atoms, and everything you can see, feel, touch has a frequency. Love has a frequency, and like a radio, you can tune into love. So, if you were to have a look at your arm underneath a microscope, you would see that it's not actually solid, okay? It's just a load of atoms that are vibrating, and they're vibrating at a certain frequency. Everything has a frequency. Everything you're looking at right now is not solid. And the frequencies are what create your reality. So, there are two main emotional states: fear and love. Now, love is your highest frequency or enlightenment piece. That is where the atoms are vibrating at a very fast pace. And this is where we want to be, because this is where all the magic happens. But there is also fear. So, underneath fear, you have things like anger, hate, envy, guilt, despair. Under the love category, you have gratitude, joy, passion, excitement, enthusiasm, hope, all of those lovely things. Now, as I said, love is the highest frequency and it's how you create your best life. It is a feeling, it's a state, it's a way of being. Trouble is, most of us unintentionally, whoops a daisy, we tend to be in the lower frequency, which attracts lower vibrational life situations that we don't want. So, say, for example, if you are vibrating at a frequency of anger, hate, guilt, fear, you are going to attract things to you which are on that like frequency. So you're going to get an unexpected tax bill. You're going to look at your bank account, there's going to be nothing left. Someone's going to crash into your car. Someone's going to be nasty to you. You're going to get a nasty email from someone that you don't like. Okay? But what you can do is ask this amazing question, which I love. Am I making this decision from love or from fear? That's how you can really get used to feeling these emotions. Unconditional love is the highest form of love, and this is where we're going to aim to be. If you think of unconditional love, for example, dogs. Dogs have unconditional love for their owners. They will love you no matter what because they just think you're amazing. Absolutely amazing. That's where we want to be. When you truly love who you are, you can manifest anything. So, and also, just a little side note here as well. We are still humans, okay? And it is important for us to experience the full range of emotions. So, this is not about the toxic positivity or anything like that. This is just about tipping the balance. So if you can spend 51% of your time in some form of love, whether that's gratitude, joy, passion, excitement, you're going to be absolutely fine. It is really important that you still experience emotions because, that is what we're here for. We're here for the roller coaster. So, here is just a slither of evidence because I know there's people that's going to be watching this workshop thinking, wow, you'll need to prove this to me. So, just a little bit for you. There's so many experiments out there that actually prove self-love, self-image, mindset, the way that you talk to yourself actually changes your reality. These are just a couple of experiments. The one that I'm going to talk about today is Dr. Emoto's water experiment, but we also have the placebo effect, the power of thought and belief actually treating illnesses. That is the power of the mind. The Rosenthal experiment, mirror neurons, all of these things as well. And I do go into these in a lot more detail in my full course. So Dr. Emoto's water experiment, this is my favorite. So he's a Japanese scientist who proved human consciousness and thoughts could actually affect the molecular structure of water. So if you have a little look at this image here, where it says thank you, isn't that a beautiful shape of water? You disgust me, love and gratitude. So what he actually did was he had vessels of water, two separate rooms. In one room, he played lovely language like thank you, I love you, you're grateful, really high frequency words. In the other room, he said things like, you're disgusting, you're evil, I hate you. It actually changed the molecular structure of the water. Now, why is this important? Well, my loves, We are made up of quite a lot of water. I think it's like 70% water. The words that you use to describe yourself will actually directly impact you. Okay. So be careful with the words that you use. Have that awareness. So, just a little quote here from the universe. Don't let insecurity ruin the beauty you were born with. So, we're here to help elevate so you believe in yourself again. So, we're now going to move into the practical side of the workshop. So you can either pause this, come back to it, or you can listen all the way through and come back to these questions. It's completely up to you. So let's check in with you. Let's have an awareness. So, what words have you used this week to describe yourself? And how do these words actually make you feel? Is this the actual truth? So if you've been saying to yourself, I look terrible this week, or I'm not good enough to go for this promotion, or I'm no good at doing this, you know, is that actual fact? Is that truth? Challenge these beliefs. Would you talk to your friends like this? If your son, daughter, friend, loved one was talking to themselves like the way you talk to yourself, would you be okay with that? Probably not. Have you been in love or fear? So if you have a look back at this week, the conversations you've been having, have you been in love, gratitude, joy, or have you been in shame, guilt, unworthiness, fear? And again, this is just an awareness exercise to see where you are. And is there something you would like to achieve, do in life, but you've held yourself back? So have a think back. If you're trying to manifest something, or maybe something you've done previously and you've held yourself back, it's really important to be aware. So this is your first step, the self-love check-in, being aware of those thoughts and those feelings. So, what we're going to do now is start building a new positive self image. This is where it gets fun and exciting. So once you've realized, the way that you're speaking to yourself, you can actually change and rewire. So, how do you want to feel about yourself every day? Do you want to feel confident? Do you want to feel like a badass, like, yeah, I'm a boss? Do you want to feel full of peace, for example? Are you fed up of running around like a headless chicken? Do you just want to feel relaxed and calm? What are you proud of? What are you truly proud of that you've done for you? So, say, for example, is there a specific achievement? What do you love about you? What three things do you love about yourself? All of these questions that I'm asking will actually go into your subconscious mind. Even if you can't answer them now, you will be able to answer them at some point after this workshop. So, what three things do you love about yourself? What do people compliment you most on? And I know with the self-love journey, when you first start this, when you are really, really low, you have low self-esteem, it can be quite challenging to think of things. And that's why it's really important to ask other people that love you, what do they love about you? What qualities do you admire in other people? I love this question. So, there's something called the law of mirrors. And what this means is if you see a skill or quality in someone else that you love, it actually means that you actually have that within you. Okay. So if you see somebody that's full of confidence and they're amazing at speaking on stage and you love to do that, you can actually do that because it's the way that reality is created. More science for another time. Okay. So, but again, it's thinking about other people and what other qualities you would like to have. It's not about comparing yourself to others. It's about going shopping, should we say, for things that you would like to have about yourself. And the imperfections you see, how can you reframe them to be authentic to you? So everyone in the world has got insecurities, things that they think are imperfections. Even the most famous supermodel in the world will have things that they don't like about themselves. It's just how we are, how we've programmed ourselves. But it's actually loving every single part of you, even if you think that thing looks ugly or it's not perfect. That thing is yours. That's you. That's a part of you, and it's what makes you unique. So, how can you reframe these imperfections? These imperfections, which are not imperfections. It's actually perfectly imperfect, is what makes you you. So, we are going to start our self love journey. Now, these are some of the tools which I absolutely love using, and I fully embody these. So, affirmations. These are so good at rewiring your subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind actually creates 95% of your reality, and only 5% is conscious. So we need to get into that subconscious mind, and we need to change those beliefs around why you don't love yourself. And affirmations, the repetition, the repetition, the repetition, telling yourself that you're beautiful, you're worthy, you are amazing. Everyone loves to be around you. If you tell yourself those things every single day, it really, really does help. And actually doing this in the mirror, I know it's really cheesy. It's a bit weird talking to yourself in the mirror. I know, but do it. Do it, do it, do it, because it does help. Guided meditations. So start listening to things that make you feel good, that make you love yourself. So there's some amazing guided meditations. I've got one on my podcast, which I will share with you. Listening to feel good music. When you're feeling low, sad, anxious, or whatever, you can instantly snap out of that by listening to music that makes you feel good. I mean, I'm going to drop a banger right now for you that you need to listen after this. We've got S Club 7. S Club 7's a vibe. Don't stop, never give up. Reach for the stars. When I put that on, I'm like, yeah, yeah. Obviously, you don't have to, conform to my S Club 7 whatever's. Listen to whatever makes you feel good. And awareness. Stop yourself mid thought. So when you are looking in the mirror or you're criticizing yourself, it's about plucking the weeds. So imagine your mind is a garden. You've got lovely rose bushes, sunflowers, lovely fruit trees, whatever growing. If a weed pops up, you just pluck it. You don't criticize yourself for having that thought. You just say, oh, that's interesting. I don't want to believe that. Pluck that. Thank you and goodbye. Challenge your beliefs. So if you are thinking about something about yourself, ask yourself, does this belief actually serve me? Is this how I want to show up? If it doesn't, you can change it. Create a badass list. I love this. So I read an amazing book called Be Seen by Jen Gottlieb. You must get it. You must read it. And in here, she said to create your badass list. So this is things that you've done in your life that make you feel like an absolute badass. And you get that on paper. And when you read this list, you're reading it as if you're reading it about someone else that you admire. And it really helps you to elevate your frequency and your belief and your confidence in yourself. And have a self-love day. If you don't have time to have a day, have an hour, have 20 minutes. It's so important. It is imperative to make time for yourself. So remember, there is only one of you in 8 billion people. You are truly unique, and your superpower is being 100% you. When you do this work and you love yourself unconditionally, the power this has is unbelievable. You will not only transform your life, you will also transform the life of people you love around you, your friends, your family, your kids, your parents, whoever, your work colleagues. When you start loving yourself, it has a knock on and it has a ripple effect. It is your responsibility to take ownership for how you feel about yourself. And there's so much power in this work. And if we just do this together, one person at a time, can you just imagine what this world would be like? So, homework, call to action. What I want you to do is start building your self love story today. So, you need to complete your self love check in, and I would recommend doing this every single week if you are new to a self love journey. You're also going to create your new self image. How would you like to feel? What would your higher self look like, feel like? What would they be doing? Choose one or more tools and start using them today. So, whether that is visualization, guided meditations, affirmations, pick things that resonate with you, or you can do all of them. Remember, it's really important to choose things that feel right and in alignment with how you want to feel. And really important, share this with a friend or someone that you love, someone that you feel could do with a little bit of a pick me up. Please share this course. And I would love to hear from you. So take a photo of you doing this course, write your affirmations, doing your self love check in. Tell me about it and please tag me in on Instagram. I'd love to hear from you. So, the Mindset Model podcast is on Spotify and Apple Podcast as well. So, please follow this. There's so much more on my podcast about self image. And then finally, my Instagram handle is the Mindset Model. So that is the end of our self image, our self love empowerment course. I really, really hoped you enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to see you in my next courses. Have the best day.